Most important thing is the interaction, for them to see their mom, their dad, to hear their voice, to feel their touch, for the parents to spend time with them. That's very important. Many moms are reluctant to pick up their babies. The baby cries out for the mother, looks to the mother wants to pick the baby up, but yet in the back of their minds, someone has told them not to pick their baby up because they're going to spoil them. You can't really spoil a baby in the first 6 months of life. It's a natural thing to do. The baby looks up at you, reaches for you, you feel like picking up the baby, so it's okay. But we have to actually give moms permission to pick up their baby and hug them. When they do that, the baby is comforted and the baby is reassured, and that's kind of the natural order of things.
What happens with the bonding if you can't breastfeed or if you have to pump because you have to work? Well, studies have shown that the kids still love their mama, especially those little boys. They will always love their mama. And so just, put in a contract with them that they can't move away. There's a lot of concerns, like moms who have a C-section. They're very concerned that they didn't get a chance to bond with their baby because they didn't go through the labor and the screaming and the hair pulling. And we found kids still attached to their parents well because they listen to you. When they're in the womb, they could hear you. They could hear dad. They recognize your voice. Sing to your baby when you're pregnant. Talk to your baby when they're pregnant, and they will pick that up. And if there's a day or two issue with breastfeeding or something that happens in the hospital, they'll forget about that and they'll still love you.
Babies enjoy being touched by the human being, by the mother's hands. So there are even infant and baby massage classes you may take if you're interested. But I know that I used to just stimulate my son's just whole tactile system by massaging and holding. And there are some oils that some massage folks recommend as hypoallergenic. Natural oils, it would be helpful, yes.
It's interesting that I've learned over the years that children, I would say by Valentine's Day, probably don't remember what they got for Christmas. But if you spend time with your kid, you take them out to the park and throw the baseball around, or you take them on a fishing trip, on your deathbed, they will remind you of how much fun they had when they were a little kid, the camping trip that you took. And so I tell parents this sort of thing all the time. You don't need to buy them a lot of stuff. Just give them your unconditional love and spend time with them. And I think that helps them to become very secure in who they are. And then hopefully they will pass that on to their kids when they become parents.